Good day everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video I wanted to talk about goldfish and some biohazards related to releasing it in the wild. So goldfish doesn't need any explanation. It's probably the most famous ornamental fish, and it's cute and hardy. And these two features sometimes may cause people to keep them in poor conditions, like goldfish bowl. And this is a routine everywhere in the world, unfortunately, but particularly I wanted to talk about a wrong habit of goldfish keeping in Iran, which is somehow related to the New Year's Eve. And the New Year's celebration in Iran, called Nowruz, has been celebrated since 3,000 years ago, in which 7 elements from the nature are decorated on a table somewhere in people's homes, pretty much similar to your Christmas tree, as a sign of renovation of the year and binding with nature. And it's been 80 to 100 years since goldfish bowl has been added to these 7 elements, and it's so counterintuitive when you think about it, because it's so unnatural to trap fish in such a small container. And I guess keeping goldfish in the bowl is unfortunately common everywhere in the world, but at least in most of the countries, people who have some sense of responsibility or interest towards the fish keep it, whereas in Iran, most of the families keep goldfish on their decorated table in the New Year's celebration, and it causes huge problems. The conditions of keeping the fish are so poor that most of the poor fish don't even make it to the end of the 13-day holiday. A fish that is supposed to live at least 20 years. They are basically seen as a piece of decoration on the table. They are not fed, they don't undergo water changes, and the water changes that people do, if any, will be they empty the old water and open tap water on the poor fish, chlorinated water that most likely will cause the fish to die. Thus, the myth that goldfish don't like water changes was born. So a lot of people don't even bother and keep them in their dirty water. The goldfish that people tend to buy during the New Year are mostly common goldfish and comet goldfish, which is just a little bit fancier common goldfish with longer tail. It's not a different species, it's only a breed. Now when it comes to sexing them, it's rather easy. The male ones have some white or yellowish dots on their gills, and like most of the other fish, the females have a shorter and bulkier body. I will have a video about breeding them coming up later, but caring for them shouldn't be a big problem as long as you keep their diet healthy, because they tend to get a lot of digestive problems, and because they produce a lot of waste, they need a good filtration and a larger tank. By the end of the 13-day holiday, there is basically no use for the goldfish, and most of the people get burnt out and they release them in the wild or in the ponds, in the parks. And this cute and bubbly fish is a monster in the wild. Most of the bodies of water already have a fragile ecosystem, and releasing your goldfish into the dams and lakes and rivers may be the last piece of the straw that breaks the camel's back. The media mostly focuses on the ecological factors and asks people not to release their goldfish in the nature without providing an alternative. I think "don't do this" is not enough, and it needs to be followed with "do this instead." So if you really don't have the facilities or the time to care for your fish, maybe don't even get any to begin with. And if you do get goldfish, please consider a larger container or an actual aquarium. And one thing that our media is guilty of is focusing on the ecological problem only, and when it comes to caring for the fish, not nearly as much. Now, I understand that goldfish in the freshwater bodies is a global problem in many countries, including the US, Canada, Australia, and a lot of European countries. But at least in those countries, people who have some passion towards the goldfish buy them. Whereas in our country, almost all families feel the need to get some goldfish in the new year, which is not even an original tradition compared 80 years with 3,000 years. After the New Year holiday, around 2 years ago, I received 3 goldfish from my neighbor who got burnt out after the holiday. Yeah. At some point, I thought one of them has a fungal infection because it was undergoing some color changes. Then I realized that it was natural for goldfish. The fish were kept in a small bowl and I released them into the pond and they absolutely loved their new home. Goldfish are okay with cooler water and they are not really sensitive towards the temperature as long as the temperature does not change very quickly. Even in the winter, if your winter is not crazy cold and the water does not freeze totally, they should be okay. But in my city, the winters are rather cold, so in the cold season, I kept them in a tub inside. And as of now, it's been 3 years that I am keeping 2 of them. The sad story is that before the last New Year holiday, I gave my neighbor one of her goldfish back. And unfortunately, the fish didn't make it until the last of the 13 days. So now I'm keeping 2 of them, and they turned out to be a male and female, and they have bred twice already. If you have similar stories about rescuing fish, please comment for me, and I shall reach back to you. Thank you for watching this video.